Good morning. I'm Lieutenant Craig Bell, and I'd like to welcome you to the Saginaw Police Department's annual awards and memorial ceremony. Thank you all for joining us as we pay tribute to our officers, both past and present. At this time, we ask one of our police chaplains, Pastor Bob Davis, to offer the invocation.
Shall we pray? Good morning, Father. On this beautiful day, we say thank you. Thank you for allowing us to see this day. We are in awe of your amazing grace. We thank you for a time of reflection. We thank you for a time of celebration. We thank you for those who serve and sacrifice their lives. And on today, we're pausing to reflect and commemorate those who have honored through service, those who have sacrificed and done a well job. And we thank you because we've gathered today. And those who have gone on, we're going to pause and reflect for their life and their dedication. Thank you for those who make up this aggregation of people. This we ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
At this time, Mayor Dennis Browning will come forward to present the proclamation.
On behalf of my fellow council members and the city manager and the citizens of the city of Saginaw, it's a great honor that I am able to present this proclamation. Whereas the courageous men and women of the Saginaw City Police Department should be honored for the discipline and distinction they show in preserving the rights, freedom, and safety of all citizens of Saginaw. And whereas it is important that all citizens know and understand the duties, hazards, responsibilities, and sacrifices of these brave officers as they serve our community. And whereas it is difficult to completely show our true appreciation for the service the men and women provide for our community. These brave officers often put their lives on the line to protect our citizens, sometimes making the ultimate sacrifice. And whereas the President of the United States and Congress has designated May 15th through the 21st, 2016 as National Police Week, we salute the men and women who do the difficult, dangerous, and often thankless work of safeguarding our communities. During this time, we celebrate those who protect and serve us every minute of every day. And whereas on Thursday, May 5th, 2016, the City of Saginaw will recognize the members of our police force and pay tribute to the officers who have laid down their lives in the performance of their duties. On this day, we will honor law enforcement officers, both past and present, by their faithful and loyal devotion to their responsibilities, have rendered a dedicated service to the residents of the City of Saginaw. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Dennis D. Browning, on behalf of my council members, do hereby proclaim May 5th, 2016 as Police Memorial Day in the City of Saginaw and urge all citizens to observe this day in honor of those law enforcement officers who, through their courageous deeds, have made the ultimate sacrifice to their community or have become disabled in the performance of duty. I further encourage schools, businesses, religious institutions, service organizations, and the community as a whole to recognize and pay respect to the survivors of our fallen heroes. In witness hereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the City of Saginaw to be affixed this 25th day of April in the year of our Lord, 2016. Signed, Dennis D. Browning, Mayor, Michael D. Balls, Annie Bench, Larry Caloris, Daniel Fitzpatrick, Mayor Pro Tem Floyd Clark, Brenda F. Moore, and Damon L. Tibbs. Timothy Morales, our city manager. Congratulations, officers.
At this time, Chief Ruth will say a few words.
I would like to thank everybody for coming today to our event. I appreciate it. One thing I'd like to speak about is on this day where we honor and remember those who protect us, we also want to recognize an organization that supports our members. More importantly, an organization that steps up to the plate to provide the families of the brave men and women who serve in our departments. The 100 Club of Saginaw County was created to acknowledge and repay the people who have risked their lives to protect ours. The members of this organization feel a sense of duty to those who ensure our safety. They are an organization of residents who contribute money each year for the benefit of families of Saginaw area police officers, firefighters, and other county officers, as well as state and federal agents who have been killed in the line of duty. If a law enforcement officer or a firefighter is killed in the line of duty, representatives from the 100 Club visit the home within 24 hours and present their surviving spouse or immediate family member with a check for $3,000 to cover immediate expenses. The Benefits Committee meets later with the family to determine the immediate financial needs, and depending upon the financial circumstances of the family, the 100 Club assists in alleviating some of these financial obligations. They are not a charity. They feel they are simply repaying a debt and looking out for those who have given their lives while they were looking out for us. And I really want to give credit to Judge McGraw, the president of that organization, for the tremendous work that they do. They're there to look out for us. If anybody, I know not a lot of people know what that organization is. That's why I took a few minutes to explain it. If you're interested in becoming a member of that organization, in your packet, you'll see in red print, I think it's about the third or fourth page in, at the bottom, it's printed in there. The 100 Club of Saginaw County is a membership organization, and its dues are used for the purposes as stated above. Dues for the 100 Club of the Saginaw County are $200 per year. Of course, I bet they'll take more. If you wish further information about this great organization, you can visit their website at www.100clubsaginaw.org or contact Judge Patrick McGraw, and the phone number is there. So I would urge everyone to please take part in that organization. It is a tremendous benefit, not only for the officers that have fallen, it's also a benefit for the officers and the firefighters of present day. Last year, the 100 Club was gracious enough to donate every law enforcement officer in Saginaw County a tourniquet to help save lives. And all of the officers wear those tourniquets, and they have been used. They have been used not only on officers, they've been used on civilians to help save their lives. So that is their mission, that is their goal, to help save lives and also to help the people who have fallen, our officers that have protected us, along with our firefighters. Just a tremendous organization. If you need any more information, please get a hold of Judge McGraw. I'm sure he would be willing to give you more info on that. Going on, this is a day to recognize not only the fallen officers that have given their lives to protect the citizens of Saginaw, it's also about the present day officers, the ones who are working now to fight crime in the city, to reduce crime, to give you the feeling and the sense of security in your home. That's what's important. The present day. That's what we're going to talk about for the next probably half an hour to 45 minutes. When we're done with our ceremony here, if everybody would join us outside in Morley Plaza next door, we are going to have our memorial ceremony to pay tribute to those who have fallen in the past here at the Saginaw Police Department. It's a very good ceremony, and I would encourage everyone to please stop out. Now, normally this is where I would end, and we would let Lieutenant Bell take over with the awards. But there's a couple of awards this year that are being given out that's not on your program. The award is the Chief of Police Personal Citation for Esteemed Service. And this particular award is a very special award for people who do an outstanding job. Literally step up to the plate and do more than they're asked to do to make the organization run smoother. And there's two people that have done that within our department this year. Our department has been through a total transition in the last year and a half to 2 years. Total transition. I think it's not new news that we have decreased the amount of police officers we have. To maintain the amount of services we have on the street, we have to change things internal. So we have gone through a total reorganization within the department. I can't do this alone. I just can't. If you look on the back of your program, there's 2 other guys on there next to me. Without those 2 guys, I couldn't have done it. They're the glue to this organization. They're what holds it together. Lieutenant Craig Bell, could you please stand up? And Lieutenant David Konjorski. I'll start with our administrative lieutenant. That's Dave Konjorski. The work that he puts in, you just can't keep track of it. The grants, every grant that we have, Dave works on. Every grant. And you can't imagine how much work there is in a grant. I know Renee Johnston knows, because she works with him on these. There is a tremendous amount of work that goes into these grants, and he does it tirelessly. For our Project Safe Neighborhood grant, our prevention grant, which is our TAPS grant, and our new ALERV grant, a lot of work. Dave also handles our policies and procedures at the police department, making sure they're updated. The training of all officers, making sure that everybody's in compliance with all the regulations of MCOLs in the state of Michigan. The video that Nancy Johnson helped produce with WNEM TV5, Dave was a part of that project. It just goes on and on. The internal affairs portion of Dave's work, making sure that everything's running smoothly within the department. I can't do it without him. I can't. He's doing a tremendous job. In the past, when I started here, 15 years ago, we had a chief, 3 deputy chiefs. When Don Pacell was working here as a chief, we had 3 deputy chiefs, 8 lieutenants. Now we're down to a chief and 2 lieutenants, and I think we've got 10 sergeants. Things have changed. They have. We've adapted to that. And because of the hard work that these 2 do, we're able to operate and function and give the services to the city of Saginaw that they deserve. And we're reducing crime. We're making people feel better and safer about living in the city in their homes. And that's what counts, a sense of security. And it happens right here. It starts from the top down. Lieutenant Craig Bell, he runs all of patrol by himself. He is our watch commander. He runs all operations of patrol. Some of the special projects he's worked on this year, he's totally redesigned our fleet and the way that our fleet is distributed to reduce the miles on the cars and hopefully make the cars last longer. Through his, I should say, pushing and pressure on me, we've increased our fleet this year by 10 vehicles. 10 vehicles for us is a lot of patrol vehicles. It's a lot of cars. And we thank City Council for approving that for us to help our operation run a little bit smoother into the future. The body camera project. Our body cameras are one of the greatest tools that I think I've seen in all my years of policing. It is tremendous having those there to help protect the officers and the citizens of Saginaw. Craig was very instrumental in this project. It's not over yet. We have more cameras coming. Craig's designed it really well. It's running very, very smoothly. Every little problem that comes up in patrol with complaints, Craig handles and takes care of. He's just, as I stated earlier, they're the glue that holds the operation together. Any special projects, that's what Craig is there for. I'd like to present you both with the award of Chief of Police, personal citation for esteemed service. You are being awarded by the Chief of Police for personal and selfless dedication to the goals of the department, resulting in honorable recognition of the entire Saginaw Police Department by members of the community. Your personal and professional dedication to the oversight of the entire patrol unit and administrative unit has been invaluable. Your involvement with acquiring and designing a new patrol fleet for Lieutenant Bell for our department is greatly appreciated. Your commitment to ensuring the transition to body cameras and the use of the fingerprint scanners has been a tremendous asset. You are appreciated for your everyday duties in which you go above and beyond. For Lieutenant Konjorski, it's the same. Your commitment to working with the allure of PSN and TAPS grants has been extremely rewarding to the Saginaw Police Department and the community of Saginaw. You are appreciated for your everyday duties in which you go above and beyond. And the things that these two are doing right now are going to last for years within our Saginaw community. Putting school resource officers back in the schools was one of the best things that we've ever done to reconnect with our youth in the city. And the things that these two have done are going to make this department better for 10, 15, 20 years down the road. So I would like to thank both of them.
Well, thank you very much, Chief. That was kind of out of the blue. We didn't know about it, but I appreciate his support, and I think I can speak a little bit for Lieutenant Konjorski. This is absolutely just an awesome department. We are making so many improvements, such great strides. It's my honor to work here. Lieutenant Konjorski and I have both been here about 20 years, and I really can't say enough about the department, the city. Things are turning around in this city. We've seen it for the last couple of years. We're all very excited about the things that are happening in the city, different grants, just a lot of things. Things have turned around, and again, thank you very much to Chief Ruth. Now on to the presentation of the awards. After the awards are distributed, we please ask that everyone, as Chief mentioned, join us outside for the memorial ceremony as we pay tribute to our fallen officers who have died in the line of duty. The first award is the Community Relations Citation Award. It's awarded to various organizations for the PSN involvement, which is Project Safe Neighborhood. As a police department, we are faced with the enormous task of being able to provide services with adequate response time, resources, enough officers to patrol our streets, and enough detectives to investigate open cases. The fact that we've seen a significant drop in sworn personnel ultimately affects our ability to react out in our community. It affects special operations, for example, that are designed to remove illegal drugs and the violent criminals from our streets. With the continuous help of the Saginaw Community Foundation, we've been able to secure and maintain the Project Safe Neighborhoods grant, while Saginaw Valley State University has served as our research partner and has been instrumental in providing support to our statistical analysis and reporting. Several other organizations play an integral role in ongoing investigations, suppression efforts, and prosecution, namely the Michigan State Police, the Michigan Department of Corrections, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms, the U.S. Attorney's Office, and the Saginaw County Prosecuting Attorney. Community outreach isn't just about prosecuting criminals, however. An organization partners include the Department of Health and Human Services, the CAN Council, Saginaw County Land Bank, and the Saginaw County Business and Education Partnership. Dedicated professionals from all these groups have helped tremendously in bringing a host of community support programs focused on employment opportunities, parenting and family support, student academic success, and housing opportunities. We'd like to give a huge thank you and ask that all representatives come forward from any of the following organizations to accept the Saginaw Police Department Community Relations Citation. Renee Johnston, for the Saginaw Community Foundation. Saginaw County Department of Health and Human Services. Tom Miller for the Saginaw County Land Bank. Kathy Conklin from the Saginaw County Business and Education Partnership. Saginaw Valley State University, we have Alan Jakubowski for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. Prosecuting Attorney John McColgan. The U.S. Attorney's Office, William Piggott, for the Department of Corrections. Lieutenant Pat Darrow from the Michigan State Police. Detective Sergeant Reggie Williams for the PSN Student Resource Officer Program. Detective Sergeant Oscar Lopez for the PSN Investigations and Violent Crime Suppression Program. And I've got to say, in the 20 years I've been here, I don't recall seeing a sold-out crowd. So again, I appreciate everybody for coming. Suzanne Greenberg from the Can Council. I don't know if I missed you on the list or you weren't on here, but we'd certainly like to recognize you.
This is totally fine. Thank you so much.
And the next award is the Community Relations Citation, which is awarded to Nancy Johnson of the Saginaw County Mental Health Authority. Things are continuously changing in our community, and for law enforcement in particular, how certain criminal situations are handled are of the utmost importance. We'd like to once again express our appreciation to Nancy Johnson of the Saginaw County Mental Health Authority for her proactive role in assisting our officers in becoming more aware of mental health issues in our community. Nancy continues to offer her assistance in providing training to our officers that focus on proven methods of response. She recently made a video that can be accessed on YouTube that is called The Relationship Between Saginaw County Youth and Law Enforcement, with the entire theme being everybody is somebody's baby. The point is to create dialogue about how the youth view police and vice versa, misconceptions, respect, and how community engagement speaks volumes when trying to understand one another. Ultimately, everyone wants to see their loved ones come home safely at night. The video is thoughtful and has been well received. Nancy continues to commit her professional and personal time selflessly. Her efforts and commitment to the City of Saginaw are greatly appreciated, and we'd like to present Nancy Johnson of the Saginaw County Mental Health Authority with the Community Relations Citation Award. The next award is the Community Relations Citation, which is awarded to Jody Wilk of the Saginaw Valley Police Canine Association. The canine program has been an integral part of the Saginaw Police Department for about 20 years. Our canine unit is very active in the community and do their very best to engage and educate the public about our program. Like most things, the program requires time and resources, and some people have gone above and beyond to ensure the success of the department. The Saginaw Police Department would like to acknowledge Jody Wilk, who consistently demonstrates her passion for police canines and the relationship they have with people in the community. Jody has researched and successfully acquired funds that have been used to obtain 2 new dogs for our canine unit this year, Mitch and Segan. Jody has assured that all expenses and necessities for our dogs were covered: food, training, vaccinations, and handling. Words cannot express how thankful we are and what this means to our canine unit and our department. Jody continues to demonstrate her passion in working with our canines, and we are tremendously grateful for her generosity and contributions. For that, we would like to present Jody Wilk with the Community Relations Citation Award. The next award is the Civilian Employee of the Year, and that award is awarded to Brian Rowell. We would like to take this time to recognize Brian Rowell, who has been with us here at the Saginaw Police Department since October 2012. Brian is an enthusiastic, dedicated, and hardworking employee who gives 110% every day. He is detail-oriented and provides exemplary service and help for his coworkers and the public. As our training coordinator, he arranges all training registrations, travel accommodations, payments, and announcements for our sworn personnel. He is responsible for all correspondence with MCOLs and initiating new sworn officers with the information needed. Brian receives and processes all FOIA requests by the public. He helps us during technical difficulties at the Raptor Center and classroom setup. He's also helpful with other tasks in SRMS, Premier One, and the ALERV and PSN grants. Brian is a pleasure to be around. He's hardworking and, more importantly, dependable. We appreciate his positivity and welcoming spirit around the office. We are tremendously grateful for Brian and all that he does for the department. He is a truly valued member of our civilian staff. We would like to present Brian Rowell as the Saginaw Police Department Civilian of the Year. The next award, or set of awards, is for the service decorations. It's for the officers, sworn personnel, and their years of service. The following officers and sergeants have served 20 years or more. Some of them are here today. I've seen a few. Some work the midnight shift or are on patrol right now and couldn't make it. But so with 20 years or more, Sergeant Mark Scott at 22 years. Officer Dan Hernandez, 21 years. Sergeant James Walney, 21 years. Sergeant Matthew Ward, 21 years. Officer Tony Teniyuki, 20 years. If Tony could step forward, I think I saw him out there. All the other officers I just mentioned actually worked last night. They got off about 7 o'clock this morning, so they couldn't make it. And Detective Sergeant Reggie Williams at 20 years. The next group is for 15 years or more, and that includes Officer Jeff Wenzel at 19 years, Sergeant Kelly Schmidt, 19 years, Detective Matt Giroux, 19 years, Sergeant Diane Mealater, 19 years, Detective Sergeant Oscar Lopez, 19 years, coming from the cheap seats, Detective Charles Coleman, 18 years, Sergeant Stephen Woodcock, 18 years, Officer Doug Stacer, 18 years, Officer Nick Jacobs, and he'll be down in a second with 18 years, Detective Leon Burns, 17 years, and Sergeant Stephen Gass, 17 years. I guess I missed a few. Detective Doug Wortley, 20 years. And Officer Tracy Johnson, 20 years. And last but not least, for the service decorations, the following officers have 5 years or more. Officer Roger Pate at 9 years. Officer Steve Lautner, 8 years. Detective Rick Thompson, 8 years. Officer Brad Holt, 8 years. Officer Matt Karpus, 8 years. Detective Rob Adams, 7 years. Officer Ian Winger, 7 years. Officer Nate Volker, 7 years. And Officer Jonathan Bayerlein, 7 years. The next award is the Commendation Award to Detective Matthew Giroux, Detective Leon Burns, and Officer Roger Pate. If you could all step forward. On February 10th, 2016, a victim was brought in by Officer Roger Pate for an interview stating that she was sexually assaulted. Officer Pate conducted an excellent interview which initiated the investigation process that would be carried out by Detectives Matt Giroux and Leon Burns. Both detectives did a thorough job of obtaining video surveillance from the venue, as well as interviewing witnesses that led to identifying the suspect and making an arrest. A search warrant was obtained for the suspect's clothing and DNA, which would lead to his arrest the same night and eventually to his conviction of third-degree criminal sexual conduct. The quick way in which this case was handled ensured that key witnesses were there to assist and valuable information was not lost. Everybody involved in this case contributed to the successful identification of a sexual predator. We present Detective Leon Burns, Detective Matthew Giroux, and Officer Roger Pate with the Commendation Award. Congratulations. The next award is the Meritorious Unit Decoration, awarded to Detective Sergeant Reggie Williams, Detective Rob Adams, Officer Tony Teniyuki, Officer Jordan Beatty, and the Community Relations Citation is awarded to WNEM TV5 Editor Michelle Galarno, Reporter Gino Vici, Photographer Zaragoza Maldonado, Patrick McLaughlin, Frederico Perez, and Joseph Smith, and also Trayvon Johnson and the local NAACP. The importance of engaging, fostering, and strengthening our relationship with the community cannot be stressed enough. We are fortunate to have forward-thinking people in our department and within our city that are constantly thinking of new ways to connect with the public. This group of people came together with the goal of educating the Saginaw community in the WNEM TV5 Law and Order segments. They coordinated and orchestrated 3 segments called How to Respond to Police on a Traffic Stop, How to Respond to Police when Approached on the Street, and How to Respond to Police when they are in your home. Each of these segments is meant to reflect practical situations that happen every day and are extremely helpful in answering questions from the public. More importantly, this group effort was meant to encourage healthy dialogue and to strengthen the relationship between law enforcement and our citizens. This project was very well received by the community, calling for the professionalism and positivity of all involved. We'd like to present the Community Relations Citation to a few special folks from WNEM TV5, Editor Michelle Galarno, Reporter Gino Vici, Photographers Zaragoza Maldonado, Patrick McLaughlin, Frederico Perez, and Joseph Smith, local NAACP, and civilian Trayvon Johnson. We'd also like to present the following officers with the Meritorious Unit Decoration: Detective Sergeant Reggie Williams, Officer Tony Teniyuki, Detective Rob Adams, and Officer Jordan Beatty. Congratulations. The next award is the Outstanding Unit Decoration awarded to our K-9 unit. We are pleased to announce that our K-9 program is thriving here at the Saginaw Police Department. Officer John Byerline and his dog Mitch, and Officer Brad Hope and his dog Segan have joined veteran officers Doug Stacer and Jeff Wenzel, along with Canjo and Kilo, in making our K-9 unit stronger than it has been in a long time. With the assistance of Jody Wilk and the Saginaw Valley K-9 Association, we've been able to acquire all necessary equipment, training, and food. There is now a police K-9 unit assigned to every patrol shift. All K-9 officers continue to promote police K-9 programs by volunteering extensive amounts of personal time to participate in community outreach programs that promote safety, educate children, and build trust with people of all ages. Educators and organizers from all over continue to request that our K-9 officers conduct presentations and engage students with learning materials that they love. Our K-9s have been a tremendous help in tracking drugs and criminals in the streets as they provide invaluable insight that can be overlooked by our officers. For these reasons, we'd like to present Officer Jeff Wenzel with Kilo, Officer Doug Stacer with Canjo, Officer Brad Holp with Segan, and Officer Jonathan Byerline with Mitch, the Saginaw Police Department K-9 unit, for the outstanding unit decoration. Unfortunately, Officer Wenzel and Officer Stacer are in court today. They couldn't make it, but we congratulate them too. So. The next award is for the Exceptional Performance Award, and that is awarded to Officer Jordan Beatty. This past December, officers were dispatched to the Bootlegger Party Store where there was an incident involving a felonious assault with a handgun. The victim stated that upon leaving the store, the suspect approached the vehicle and pointed a handgun at them. The victim then went into the store, got back into the vehicle, and left. Officer Jordan Beatty responded to the call, interviewed witnesses, and was able to view video surveillance from inside the store. He then began to search the area for a possible vehicle in the area until he came upon a person walking that, lo and behold, matched the description from the victim and video. Officer Beatty observed something heavy in the suspect's hood that resembled a gun. He then proceeded to call for additional units as he commanded the suspect to remain with his hands in the air. Once backup arrived, an arrest was made. A loaded 9mm was confiscated, and he was arrested for felonious assault and carrying a concealed weapon. We are acknowledging this situation due to Officer Jordan's patient, observant approach while getting statements and making observations. He was also smart in his policing, calling for backup before attempting to arrest the suspect. Little things make all the difference when dealing with dangerous suspects, because any bad decision, no matter how small, can change the course of the events. For these reasons, we are awarding Officer Jordan Beatty with Exceptional Performance. Congratulations, Officer Beatty. The next award is the Exceptional Performance Award for Officer Brad Holp. On February 24th, police were dispatched to a call advising that a man was making threats to kill his girlfriend and then commit suicide by cop, in which Officer Brad Holp responded. Officer Holp immediately took the necessary precautions by immediately making contact with the original caller and, equipped with his ballistic shield, set up a perimeter around the venue. Using his public address system on his vehicle, Officer Holp was able to establish contact with the suspect and persuade him to exit the house unarmed. We would later learn that the suspect recognized Officer Holp from his past interactions and that Officer Holp had always been very helpful and friendly toward him, and for these reasons he complied. Once inside the residence, police located 2 fully loaded AK-47s and 2 fully loaded pistols. We'd like to recognize Brad's professionalism in this situation and also for his everyday efforts to establish himself as an officer of the community under positive circumstances. If the suspect hadn't been familiar with Officer Holp, the outcome may have been very different. Therefore, we are awarding Officer Brad Holp with the Exceptional Performance Award. The next award is the Exceptional Performance Award for Officer Tracy Johnson. For over 5 years, Officer Tracy Johnson has been working diligently within our schools as our Youth Initiative Officer. Her role within the department is that of a non-traditional police officer, and her work and the lives she touches can easily go unnoticed. This isn't to say that Officer Johnson isn't making a difference. Her programs are geared toward elementary through high school students and focus on making better choices, attitude, community involvement, and respect for self and others. Officer Johnson has established strong relationships with her kids and continues to mentor and guide them in their pursuits of jobs, college, and sports endeavors. All of her interactions with these students and their families are designed to foster positive relationships and trust between law enforcement and the community, and Tracy does a phenomenal job. Tracy always has a great attitude and smile on her face, and her positive energy is felt with whomever she comes in contact with. We are extremely thankful for Officer Tracy Johnson and would like to award her the Exceptional Performance Award. Congratulations. The next award is the Life Saving Award, which is awarded to Officer Isaac Babinski, Officer Tyler Cece, Officer Ian Wenger, and Officer Philip Graves. And from the Saginaw Fire Department, Engineer Cedric Green and Firefighter William Buckinger. All the officers, or most of them that I just mentioned, again, work the night shift. They're unable to make it, but I believe we have the folks from the fire department. In November of 2015, Officer Isaac Babinski was driving eastbound on the Genesee Street Bridge when he noticed a man standing outside on the railing on a very snow and ice-covered ledge looking down toward the river. Officer Babinski approached the jumper and attempted to talk to him, where he was immediately met with resistance. By this time, more officers had responded, including an engine from the Saginaw Fire Department. The jumper continued to voice his distress and warned that if anybody comes near him, he'll jump. Officers and firefighters remained ready with life-saving gear and equipment, all offering words of encouragement to the distraught man. When Officer Babinski observed the jumper moving around, he was able to get close enough to the man, divert his attention, and grab him. The man resisted strongly, pushing himself back toward the water, at which point the other officers rushed to pull him over to safety. Everybody involved in this situation demonstrated patience and professionalism, and they are to be commended. For their persistence, we'd like to acknowledge Officers Isaac Babinski, Richard DeLong, Tyler Cece, and Philip Graves, as well as firefighter William Buckinger and engineer Cedric Green for the life-saving awards. Congratulations. The next award is for the Saginaw Police Department Officer of the Year, which is awarded to Detective Patrick Bush. Officer Pat Bush is being recognized today for his continuous hard work within the community and at the department. Officer Bush was hired in October of 2011 and came to us with prior policing experience from working as an officer in Flint. Since day one, he has been humble, outgoing, and easy to work with. He brought his work experience and quickly adapted to our work environment here in Saginaw. We received many positive emails and phone calls from people in the community who have had interactions with him. He constantly goes above and beyond. His genuine concern for what he does shows through his investigations, policing, and communications with those around him. He has made an active effort to become more familiar and knowledgeable with gang affiliations and activity on a local and national level. His efforts in tracking information and images of gang activity have been extremely valuable. Within the past year, Pat has transferred from the patrol to the Detective Bureau, where he continues to demonstrate excellence and apply his knowledge and skill to investigating criminal cases. He has done exceptionally well in making arrests, obtaining confessions, prosecuting, and sending offenders to prison. Pat works well with different agencies and spends a great deal of time collaborating with them. He has a positive and energetic attitude, and this has contributed to him receiving the Officer of the Month 3 times in the past year. His work ethic speaks for itself. Detective Bush is selfless and passionate in his work and has undoubtedly earned the prestigious honor of being named Saginaw Police Department's 2016 Officer of the Year.
Anybody that works with me knows that I'm not a public speaker by no means. We'll keep this very short. I appreciate it, guys. I know you mentioned it's hard to name one officer. Every call we go to, we have 10 different officers working on that same call. This department, they could have picked any officer within the city of Saginaw, and they would have deserved this award 100%. So I appreciate that you guys selected myself, and I'm extremely honored. Quite surprised. I actually thought my sergeant was joking with me when I first heard it, and until the chief walked in my office. But I appreciate it. Thank you.
Humble is the word that comes to mind when talking with Pat, and he is extremely humble. And again, congratulations to him. He certainly deserves it. And this concludes our ceremony. We'd like to give special thanks to the Temple Theater, Tim Hortons, Gertner's Flower Shop, and the Honorable Judge Barbara Meter for her donations. I'd also like to thank Saginaw Police Department's administrative professional, Sienna Rendon. Sienna did a great job in organizing today's ceremony and putting everything together. So congratulations.